G'day punters, welcome to a ripping edition of All In. We have a young Lewis Willoughby down at Bondi Icebergs this evening and Dean Watling, probably sitting at home no doubt. Boys, how are we?
Travelling well, Gannon. I think Louis probably travelling a little bit better than myself and you. He's Bondi Icebergs lapping it up, probably putting in an offer to buy the place, I'd imagine. Travelling well. Louis, what's doing?
This is one of the great venues all time, fellas. I apologise for the lack of proper audio and proper video, but we do what we have to do. It's been a great Monday. It was Adelaide Cup Day. It was Canberra Cup Day. There was racing at Warrnambool, and so we're all on like there's no tomorrow. It's been a great day. But we push ahead with the podcast nonetheless because the past few weekends have been outstanding days of Group 1s, but we're really getting into the thick of the autumn carnival here. The slippers coming up. We've got another huge Group 1 day in Melbourne and in Sydney. And so we're going to find a few winners, as we always do. Dino, I know you can. Ganno, I'm relying on you to come through with a few here because if my memory serves me correctly, you haven't been back in many soon. You haven't been back in many Group 1 winners for us. The punters are calling for it.
Wow. Mate, get off the drink, mate. What about Juas?
It takes the week off 6 weeks, mate.
It's a serious horse. It is a serious horse too. I think if they don't go to the Queen Elizabeth with that horse, they're crazy.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Now, boys, before Louis falls asleep on us, he's just absolutely flying here, actually. Oh, we've lost him. See you, Louis. We're going to chime in. We're going to chime in quickly, just very, very quickly to the weekend in review. Dino, have you got a horse to follow? And then Louis will hit you up with the best ride if you've got one there, mate.
I got 3. I'll fly through them. Character comes through a nice race on the path for a derby. Mirror Vision back on a dry track was super in the Coolmore. She can win back on a dry track. And Willinga Beast out of the midweeks. Best sectionals, best everything of the day there. She's a quality filly, size filly. Back her in that. So quick horses to follow. Louis, what are you doing?
It has to be Paddy Maloney on Rockin' Horse in the Newmarket. I mean, you look at the post-race audio. It was his first Group 1 ever. You're stoked to win one, of course. And then you hear what he says and he goes, I wanted to stay to the inside, and we all spoke about it. The fast horses are on the outside. There's no point following the fast ones on the outside. Let's all stick to the inside rail. And look what happens. He wins the Newmarket on, 100 and something to 1. It was insanity. But when you listen to him after the race, he goes, that was the plan. The horse came over from New Zealand in unreal order, and he sticks to the inside, and he gets his first Group 1 on 100 and something to 1 horse. So for me, Paddy Maloney on the Group 1 Newmarket at Flemington, that was, I hate to sound like a post-race exploit because no one wants to be that. But when you look at ran second in the Group 1 Telegraph in New Zealand behind a horse that was in that race, and it was only about 16 to 1, and this thing ran second by a pimple and it was 100 and something to 1, and it wins. Don't call me. I'm just saying. Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Isn't it a glorious thing? And speaking of hindsight, Fennec, and we have been going like absolute bastards on our all-in bets. So all you legends out there commenting, chiming in with all your comments, it's been fantastic. Thank you. This week we're going to stitch Dino up. He's going to give us a jumper. This way we're going to give something away. So one of his sloppy joes or his jumpers, as he likes to refer to them. I'm thinking more of a sloppy joe man myself. All you have to do, guys, jump on, subscribe, give us a comment, give us your best bet of the week. I don't care if we don't care if your best bet falls over like Louis' horses do. Come last, that's fine. As long as you participate, you are in the draw and we're good to go. Now, Lewis, before we go ahead, here's something. I heard rumours you're at Roosters training on last Monday, telling Robbo what to do. Would that have anything to do with the result on the weekend, mate? Jeez, I was gutted to see that score.
Yeah, it was heavy. All I will say is that the past 3 times we've won the competition, we've lost in round 1. So let's not all jump to conclusions. We may have lost to the Knights, who had a very, very poor team, but it's a long season and premierships are not won in March, I can tell you that. So, Ganno, I know you're a Roosters man. Don't jump off ship with me yet, mate. Don't jump off ship with me yet. We've got a long season ahead of us. Yeah, we can win.
Strong.
We can win.
All right, Louis, what do you got for us, mate? We're going to move into Saturday.
Right, there's a few Group 1s coming up on Saturday. Of course, it's all part of the Autumn Carnival that we've got going on. We've got the Group 1 George Ryder, 1,500 weight for age. The Group 1 Ranvet, 2,000 metre weight for age. But we're going to push forward to the Galaxy. Now, before I even read out this market, I need to get an opinion from both of you. It's a yes or a no. Can Shelby 66 back up for the 100th week in a row and win another race?
No.
No.
Give it a rest, Danny.
Right. We're all on those. So let me push to the market. Isotope, thanks to Tab, $4 favourite. Marzu is at $6. Big Parade, $7. Porlele, $8. In the Congo, 9. And then it's away game with Brooklyn Hustle and Malkovich at 13s. Overpass also 13. And Minhaj, 15. The horse we just mentioned, Shelby 66, is a 15 chance. Ballistic Lover rounds the rest, $17. I'll go to you, Dino, first. The Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm going to be very bullish about one here. Big Parade, first up here. Really like this horse. Probably wasn't one of mine last prep, but love the way it finished that prep. It flies fresh. I think it's got a record of 3 from 5 first up, 5 from 9 on the soft. Finished last campaign, 4th behind Lost and Running Eduardo in the Classic Legend Stakes. That's ripping form. I like the trial too. Had another jump out or trial in between races, which was super as well. But around that $8 price, $7 price, I think it is a fantastic bet in the Galaxy. I'm keen as a bean. Gannon, how did you read it?
No shock you jumped on board finally, Dean. I'm a big Parade fan myself, but you're right, mate. You take all the glory for this win. Yeah. No problem. Mate, yeah, massive fan of backing the Parr-Newnham combination, and I think it's a great bet at the $7. One thing I will say, very keen to see how In the Congo comes back. And for those of you sort of looking each way, Brooklyn Hustle, 13x4, J-Mac booked. Oof. Wasn't too bad, Louis. Last start, flew home. What do you reckon, mate? You're a bit of a Melbourne spurt. What do you reckon?
Look, I've got nothing against Brooklyn Hustle. I think it's a very good horse. I think they've got no doubts aiming up for a Group 1, but I think eventually you have to let a horse go. I think if I was the owners of the horse, you'd be winning Group 2 and Group 3s like there's no tomorrow, just quietly. But you keep aiming not in Group 1, you get done by a few, and before you know it, the prep's over. So I think Brooklyn Hustle is a very good horse, but I wouldn't be able to back it with any confidence unless it was, it'd have to be a big price for it to knock off a few others in the race. But I can see where you're coming from, but I'm just saying don't get sucked into the trap again of a Brooklyn Hustle going to a Group 1. That's the Galaxy. Let's go to the Guineas. The Guineas is the next Rosehill Guineas. This is an all-in, thanks to Tab. Animo, well, you got to take even money if you want to back it now. It's $2. Converge, $3.50. Profondo at $6. Forgot You at $9. Interesting runner, War Eternal. It's not nominated, but at this stage, it's a $13 chance in the all-in market with Tab. Allegra on 17. Captive on 26 with Coast Watch. And one of your favourites, Gano, Maurice's Me Dad. It ain't nommed, but you can take 26 if you want.
What do we got there? I'll chip away first. Look, I'm a massive Animo fan. Got beaten by a absolute pearl of a ride from TC. Converge, good horse. To be quite frank, I can't take $2 Animo anymore. You've done me. Whether there's J-Max ice cold on it, or Rosehill's probably going to be a disadvantage. So you can give that a spell. Converge $3.50, probably a great bet. And looking through the list there, that's about all I could back. Dino?
I'm going to be... I haven't been on Animo this prep. I'm waiting to launch. I think this is the race we can absolutely launch in the $2. Wins last start if it sells in front of Converge. I think that's the only knock on the horse. It's a purely dominant 3-year-old. Just his racing pattern's the only thing that gets him beat. His 8-2 was the day's best there last start. He couldn't have done much more from the position he is. And hopefully we get a bigger field here, which I think will aid him. We saw them come off the fence last week. So I think this setup will suit him. And I think it's the right time to dive into the $2 if we're going to ever. So I'm keen to be with Animo. So could be a little case bet come on here.
Absolutely. You already owe me $2. But just quietly, if it starts $2 fair income, I'll give it up. There's no way Animo's starting $2. Please. Tab will try and get everything out of it, especially Rosehill, rail 2 metres. It's going to be a dry track. Don't let me stop you though, Dino.
No comment. No comment.
All right, what do we got next, Louis? We heading into Flemington?
Yeah, Flemington. I agree with you, Gannon. $2 got to be short. In an all-in market, come on, please. All right. Anyway, we moved to Flemington. I can't say it's a Group 1, but it's the feature race of the Flemington program on Saturday, and it is the All-Star Mile. Zaki, 280, favourite with Tab. I'm thunderstruck, $6. I know that we've, at least I have, said that I'm sure that it will win a good race in the autumn. Maybe this is it. Inspirational Girl, 7s. Pinstriped at 8. It was an absolute certainty beaten the last time out. Let's not call a spade, shall we? Cascadian 15s. Flying Mascot also at 15 with Mr. Brightside. Tafane at 16. And then Lightsaber heads the rest at 21. I have to have a few dollars on Pinstriped at 8 because, and you know what, it isn't really Mick D's fault. It wasn't the best ride we've ever seen, but it hardly was the worst. He got back in the field, and as we know, in any race, whether it be a Group 1, a maiden, a benchmark 58 or whatever it is, you need luck sometimes for that racing pattern, and unfortunately he didn't get any. It trucked over the line, hard held. It would have finished much closer had it got a good run in transit. So I think on the backup, if it goes, Pinstripe is a bet. I don't want Zaki at 280. I think, like the race we just talked about, the Rosehill Guineas, in an all-in market, that is too short. I think you'll get better than that on the day if you like it. We mentioned on Thunderstruck, $6. Without pricing the race, I'm not sure whether that's a bet or not, but I think it will win a good race this preparation. Inspirational Girl, you can never write off. Look, without being a Group 1, this is an absolute cracking race over the mile, and it always is the All-Star Mile. It's a great race to watch. It's a great race to bet in. If you want an all-in bet right now, it's Pinstriped, but otherwise I'm waiting till the day.
Yeah, I agree with you, Louis. Pinstriped, I think it's a ripping chance here. Like you said, I think it was a certainty beat last start. You need luck. I think a race like this sets up well. There's hoping they're going a genuine tempo, and if you can map that sort of midfield off the rails type setup down Flemington, suits it to the ground. Really like it. I'm also with Zaki at the top of the table. Think he can turn the tables on Inspirational Girl. They absolutely crawled there. Williams got to the front and dropped the anchors. I think they went some 7 lengths slower than the average there, the first 600. So I think through a tempo, Zaki up on pace. Doesn't need luck. I think he is a ripping play as well as Pinstripe. So I'm with you there, Louis. Pinstripe. Gannon, any opinion in this race?
One thing I will say, Ice Bath completely forgotten about and improves late through the prep. I think, I've been a bit lazy here, but I'm thinking we're third up now, and that's about its right time. So if there was one for an all-in play, Ice Bath 26, the win, $7.25 the place, probably worth 1 unit the win, and maybe 2 the place there for anyone that's keen there, because I think it will jump out of the ground on Saturday. Now, boys, before we wrap this one up, I need your best all-in play of the week, and we'll throw them up on the screen now. Dino, what's yours?
Comes up in the Galaxy, a big parade, very keen, around that $7 price. It will be mighty hard to beat.
Louis?
Can I go Jackano in the slipper?
Absolutely.
Is that allowed? I think it has to be. I've been with it all prep. I thought it was going to bolt in the Blue Diamond. It peaked at last 50. It got done under a length. I think if Mick Price wasn't certain that it could run a good race, he wouldn't bring it to Sydney. It's coming to Sydney. It's got Hugh Bowman on. Give me Jackano in the slipper all day.
Love it, Louis. Love it. And I am with Dino, which is good. Trouble for the bookies, Dino. Trouble for the bookies. Big parade. I'm with you there, mate. $7. That's a bet. Righto, boys. That's fantastic. There's our all-in plays for the weekend. Give them strength. Someone help us. Punters, thank you very much for chiming in. If you've lasted this long, you deserve a ice-cold beer. Don't forget, Dino's giving away a Sloppy Joe / jumper. It's an astute product. We love it. We're still waiting on ours, though, Louis. It's getting cold, getting that time of year, so I'm sure one will pop in the mailbox at some stage. Punters, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, get amongst it. This show is for you. So get involved. The more involvement we get, the more likely Louis will actually continue to turn up. Louis, Dino, thank you very much for your time, lads. And we have a cracking meeting coming up, or what's that, water? Cracking card coming up next week. So punters, stay tuned. We look forward to it.
Cheers, lads.